冲死我呀！做八卦已经冲死我，不是我。你看，这我八卦已经不行了。喂，冲死我呀！
October 15th, 2025, China. Yangtze and Yellow River basins. The flood crisis across China's Yangtze and Yellow Rivers has escalated into an unprecedented catastrophe, leaving destruction in its wake. Torrential rains, exacerbated by shifting weather patterns and intense storms, have caused rivers to swell to dangerous levels, overwhelming flood defenses and sweeping through entire communities. The government has issued a national emergency alert, mobilizing rescue teams across the country as over 1 million people have been evacuated from flood-stricken regions. This marks one of the most severe natural disasters in recent history, and its scale is proving to be both overwhelming and catastrophic. The disaster began as heavy rainfall and storms battered central and eastern China, with the Yangtze and Yellow Rivers exceeding their flood stage levels by record margins. Within a matter of hours, large swathes of land were submerged underwater. Cities like Wuhan, Nanjing, and Zhengzhou, once bustling with life, are now engulfed in raging floodwaters. Residential areas have been swept away, entire neighborhoods collapsed under the weight of the floods, and countless cars were carried off by the torrents. The damage is almost incomprehensible. On the ground, the scene is one of utter devastation. Vehicles once parked in streets or garages have been turned into debris, floating aimlessly or lodged in trees and destroyed buildings. Large industrial zones along the rivers have been completely obliterated, with essential infrastructure submerged or destroyed beyond repair. The floodwaters have torn through everything in their path: homes, schools, businesses, leaving nothing but a wasteland of ruin. One of the most severe impacts of this flood has been the collapse of thousands of homes, particularly those in low-lying or unprotected areas. Reports indicate that entire blocks of residential buildings have been completely obliterated by the force of the floodwaters, many of which were built near riverbanks. The rapid onset of the flooding left little time for evacuation, and the collapse of homes has left families stranded without shelter. Eyewitnesses describe heart-wrenching scenes of people desperately trying to escape rising waters, some clinging to debris or rushing to rooftops. In rural areas, where rescue teams are struggling to reach, entire villages have been swept away. Roads are impassable, making it nearly impossible for emergency services to offer immediate assistance. The number of casualties continues to rise, with emergency response teams already reporting dozens of deaths, and hundreds more feared trapped in the wreckage. The ramifications of the flood extend far beyond China's borders. The Yangtze and Yellow Rivers are among the largest and most vital rivers in the world, providing water to millions and playing a crucial role in the economy of China and its neighbors. This disaster has not only paralyzed local industries, but has also disrupted international trade routes, with ports along these rivers now impassable. Power grids and water supply systems are in disarray, leaving regions without basic services. In addition, the environmental impact of this disaster cannot be overstated. Agricultural land along the riverbanks has been completely destroyed, and millions of tons of crops have been lost. The floods have displaced wildlife, drowned ecosystems, and created a toxic slurry of debris and waste, contaminating water sources and raising concerns about future public health crises. Countries around the world have already begun offering humanitarian aid to assist China in managing the aftermath of this devastating flood. International relief organizations have mobilized resources to provide food, shelter, and medical care to those affected. However, the sheer scale of the disaster poses significant challenges, with many areas still inaccessible and in dire need of assistance. China's government has declared a state of emergency and is coordinating efforts with local and international organizations. While the full extent of the damage is yet to be fully realized, experts agree that the recovery process will take years, and the economic and social toll will be felt for decades. The severe flooding along China's Yangtze and Yellow Rivers has created one of the most catastrophic natural disasters in modern history. Homes have been destroyed, lives uprooted, and entire cities left in ruins. Over 1 million people have been evacuated, yet the situation remains dire, with rescue operations ongoing and the floodwaters showing no signs of receding. The world must come together in support of China's recovery efforts, as this catastrophe highlights the growing vulnerability of communities around the globe to the effects of extreme weather and climate change.